it's time to make a pumpkin arrangement. And I was inspired by those beautiful hydrangeas I got from Sun Valley. And I went and looked for some really cool pumpkins, and I found all sorts of heirloom pumpkins. And I found this green one, and I thought this one is going to be perfect with these beautiful hydrangeas and a few other things out of the garden. So the rest of the stuff that I'm going to use is from the garden, and we're going to make a pumpkin arrangement. And I thought it would be fun for us to do that. We're also going to use the Midnight Foam from Oasis, which is a biodegradable black colored foam. And so it looks gray. And we talked a little bit about foam the other day, and I told you I'd talk to you about soaking it. Okay. So we're going to talk about soaking it too. The cool thing about this is an heirloom pumpkin that I found. My friend Camille at Martha's Vineyards had them, and they're just beautiful. I got about a dozen, and they're all different colors. I was really looking for a blue one, but I couldn't find a blue one. And I thought this one was going to be great because it was very reminiscent of the hydrangeas that we have. On my Facebook page, I shared a picture of a beautiful pumpkin that was just amazing. And that kind of inspired me too. And I thought this would be a good opportunity for us to do that. I have attempted to carve heirloom pumpkins before. The issue with them is, look on the bottom, they're like a gourd. Okay. This is more of a gourd than it is a pumpkin. And so the flesh is super thick and really hard to cut. And so I wanted to show you a really easy way for you to decorate a pumpkin with flowers. I know if you want to carve it out in here and you wanted to like plant succulents in it, you can do that too. But the other thing I know about pumpkins is that when we carve them, they don't last as long because we've opened up the sealed chamber of this fruit or vegetable, whichever one it is. I don't know. What are you supposed? Pumpkin's fruit, vegetable, fruit, vegetable. I don't know. So we've opened that up. So if we could do something that we didn't have to open this up and still wanted to make an arrangement on top of it, we could capitalize on having this great texture and then also have our arrangement on top. So that's what we're going to do today using our Midnight Foam. And super easy. The other great thing I like about this is when we soak it, it turns black. And it's kind of charcoal gray right now, but then it disappears. It's not like the green color that we have and that we can sometimes see. This looks like a shadow. And so it's going to be a perfect opportunity for us to use that. So what I thought was that we need about half a block. And the thing I love is that there's a little line on here on the outside of these that shows, and I just wanted to show you what an unsoaked brick looked like, right? But I'm going to go ahead and take my knife and cut down the middle of this foam. Now you're noticing that it's dry. I'm cutting on it while it's dry, okay? So now I've got this great block of foam. What I'm gonna do with this is I wanna push it down on here while it's dry, okay? And I'm just gonna put a little X on this side, okay? On this side, right? I have a little X there. And that's going to tell me that after I soak it, this side goes towards me. So I don't want to pull my pumpkin. I don't want to turn my pumpkin around. But look at, made a little indentation inside there. And that's where my stem goes. Okay, when I'm all done with this. Ta-da, like that. Now, I'm also going to trim my edges. And I can do all of this work while it's dry. Okay, so I'm going to bevel the edges of my foam. Now behind me, I have a bucket, and that bucket is filled with water that has my Kreisel Professional 3 in it. It's this little bucket right here, okay? And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my block, and again, there's my X, okay? And I'm going to drop it in there. And what's going to happen is, I wish this was clear, and I'm sorry that it's not, but it's soaking down inside there. I'm float soaking it. I am not pushing it down under the water. It's taking a few seconds. It's probably going to take about 30 seconds or so for it to soak up. And then we'll be all set to go. I don't have to soak it overnight. I don't have to soak it for 6 hours or anything like that. I can just do it exactly like I have right now, and it's going to be fine. So we're just finishing up inside there, and I can see inside there as it's being drawn under the water that the charcoal color is going away and the black color is coming out as it's completely soaked, and it is now done. Okay, so it's completely soaked now. And there's my little hole in the bottom. Where's my little X? My X is right there. So I'm going to turn that towards me. I'm going to put it back exactly as I had on that stem, as I had it before. And you know what? I'm also going to bevel these edges. So what I'm going to do with those is I'm just going to go down the side. Now, the thing I love about the Midnight Foam is the Midnight Foam is biodegradable. And so that's really nice. Oasis is always working to try and figure out the best solutions for us. And so they have worked on that. And I think that's a great thing. Okay, so that's my bucket of water. And I'm going to get my chair out of the way because now we can create a beautiful arrangement. Now, the one thing that's going to be difficult about this is you're going to notice that I don't have a water reservoir. So I'm going to want to come in and, you know, if I was placing this on the dining room table or something, I might take it to the sink once a day and add water in here and let the water run out, dry off my pumpkin, and then put it back on the table. If I have it outside, I could water it and let it run around if I wanted to too. Because I think, you know, we think about decorating pumpkins and carving a face in them, but what about if we decorated our pumpkins with flowers? Isn't that fun? That's really fun. So we are going to use again our Dram bypass cutter. We will also have on hand our compact pruner in case we need that. Here is my bucket of flowers that I have. I have a few some pampas grass that we're going to use. I've got those gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous Sun Valley hydrangeas. These were the ones that I processed. They've been in water for a day, just sitting here at room temperature. No issues, no problems, because I cut them sharp with a knife and I put them in the water. If you want to see how to care and do care and handling on your hydrangeas, go back and watch part 1, that video that has part 1 about hydrangeas. I've got a couple of fun little dahlia blooms. I thought that those would be sweet to have in here as well. I've got some sedum from out in the yard, which is just beautiful. That's going to be wonderful in here. And then I thought this was really fun. These are pods that were on my lilies. You're going to be able to see those lilies in season 3 of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom on PBS. But they're like a longiflorum lily with a yellow center. They're absolutely gorgeous. But at the end of the season, they've got these little pods on them. How fun is that? So we're going to use some of those. Speaking of pods, I have pods from my hostas. These are the pods off my hosta blooms. Aren't those pretty? So we're going to use those. We are also going to use some 9-bark. Looks like this. I like that it's kind of black in coloration. Matches our Oasis Midnight Foam. We have got a little bit of Dusty Miller because I thought that's going to be really pretty inside here as well. I've got a couple little hosta leaves too, some bright green hosta leaves to make those colors bubble up. I've got some scented geranium, 2 different kinds that we're using. Some scented geranium that looks like that. And I've also got some astilbe pods that look like this. Okay, this is the leftover of my astilbe. So it's going to be really pretty. Now we're going to just create that on top. It's going to be like a little hat on top of our pumpkin. Okay, and we'll just have fun while we do it, right? So let's start with our 9-bark. I want to start with our 9-bark. And when I was cutting, look, I cut pieces that looked like they were coming out of the plant at a nice angle like that. And I can go ahead and place those in here so that they're kind of cantilevered off the side. My friend Swampwitch the other day, she said she had to look up when I said cantilevered. And I'm glad that she did because that allowed her to learn about a new word that we can use. It's a word that comes from modern design and like mid-century modern design on homes and stuff. Frank Lloyd Wright homes. Look at that. Look at how that's pretty on there and how we're getting that little business going on there. And you'll see I'm cutting these stems so that I might get 2 stems out of a cut off of 1 branch. So if I cut it correctly, then I'll have 2 stems. So see, that's pretty fun all the way around. Now let's use those hosta leaves. I think that that's a good thing to do. we'll use hosta leaves. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put two together on one side. And then I'm going to put another one off the other side over here. So we have two here, one there. Great. All right. Now let's do some of this great pampas grass. I think it's just beautiful. And we'll cut some of that and stick that in here. I'm even going to stick one a little bit taller up there because ultimately we're going to have a cap over the top of this. And I think that that's going to be exciting. Okay. So there's that. Now I think that some of these astilbepods would be great in that cap as well. Now, I hope that you're remembering, when we're arranging flowers like this, what we're doing is we're relaxing. We might put on our favorite music. We might pour ourselves our favorite beverage. My friend Barbara was just showing that she'd gotten out her Halloween pumpkin coffee mug. And I thought that's a great idea. And it would be fun to have that with, other, if you got a special mugs and things like that, special decorations for the year, get those out. This is time to do that. It's fun. Now let's use some of our beautiful scented geranium. This is going to create interest and texture in our bouquet. And so I love that. This is my favorite one. This one that has the great little scalloped edge. I think you've seen that when we did dahlias and things like that. But again, now I need some on this side, right? So I was talking to my friend Brendan the other day, and he said, I love these videos because it's like you're giving a private lesson for flower arranging. I think that's true. It's just you and me getting together for a little private lesson for flower arranging. And here's the other. This is the other scented geranium. I'm going to come back with that in a little bit because I'm going to go in right now with a little bit of the sedum. And I'm just going to tuck that sedum in there. I like that it's a pretty red color too, don't you? Because I think that that adds a lot. When I got the hydrangeas the other day from our friends at Sun Valley, there was some pink ones and there's green ones. And now I'm going to show you, look, here's my stem left of my sedum. I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to nip that out so that I've got a pretty end on it. And then I can tuck that in as a foliage. So it's not going to waste. It's going to be pretty in there. I think that's a fun way for us to do it. I got two of them in there now. I got one on this side. I got one over here. Pretty. And let's put a little bit of that Dusty Miller right up here. I think that Dusty Miller is going to be great in the top. And do one more over here. And I'm going to do one more down here that kind of sticks down and it's going to hang on the side of that because it's going to be great contrast down in there. See, look at how much you can see that. I think that's really fun. So now let's see. We've got our hydrangea. Okay. And we can go in with the whole stem of hydrangea. Just like that. Look at how pretty that looks. That's just lovely in there. And I think we have room over here for another one. But you know what? The cool part about these hydrangea, let me just show you the back side of this. Look at, I've got a piece there. I've got another piece here, like that. I've got one more piece here. So now I've got 4 pieces. And then I can use this piece right here like this. And so what we're going to do with this one is look at how that's going to fit right in there, in between those things, like that. So it fits in between this and in between this over here. It just goes down in between there. Nice. Okay. Then I can tuck another piece over here. I can tuck another piece down in here. And I think I need one right down in there too. And see how my hosta comes over the top, my sedum's around there like that? I think that's real nice. Now let's look at a couple of those hosta pods, okay? Because that's interest. This is an interesting thing that we can add, and we don't want to tuck it down in too deep because I want it to stick out like that. I want it to be something that people see. And then maybe like, hey, Jay, what is that? They almost look like little eggplants or little cucumbers, right? But I want them to say, oh, that's a pretty little pod that you've got in there. I've got a little space over here for a little bit of a little spot right here where I can put in a piece of scented geranium. I loved this dahlia. Look at this dahlia, so pretty. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut him short, and we're gonna put him right in there. Look at that, how great that looks, just tucked down inside there. And I think we need one on this side over here. This one has a few more leaves, so I'm going to peel off a few of those leaves. And again, because we're using our Chrysal Professional 3 inside there, those little, that's almost a bud. So it's going to open up a little bit more as we go along, okay? It's cold and rainy here today. And, you know, pretty soon we're going to get a frost. We didn't get a frost last night. I thought we were sure going to get one last night, but we didn't. So now I'm just looking to see if I need to fill in anywhere with any of the leftover pieces of geranium. And now we've got these pods. All right. So look at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This stem has been outside my window all summer long. And I've looked at it and I could see the lilies all summer. And so now I'm going to use them in this arrangement. And I just love the contrast that they add. I was telling you about that post that I put up on Facebook, and it's a pumpkin that's been painted gray, and it has feathers in it and all sorts of fun stuff. And that was what inspired me to use these little lily pods. It looks great. It looks just great. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have water, excess water that's coming out because as we put stems into into that foam on top of the pumpkin, it's going to shed water. But after about 20 minutes or so, we won't see any more of that. And we'll just, you know, here is my my guilty pleasure, having a few Bounty paper towels right down here to soak up any water that we have. But isn't that pretty? Isn't that a pretty little decoration that you could have? You could put it on your front stoop. You could put it on the middle of your dining room table. You could keep it on the stoop until it was time for you to put it on the dining room table, bring it in for a decoration for the night, and then take it back outside and put it out again. That would work. Not a problem. So a super fun way for us to have a great little decoration like that. And it was easy. I didn't have to get a knife out. And I didn't have to carve away on that pumpkin or hurt myself. Just by putting that down on top of that, then I'm ready to go. And as my flowers fade, really the only thing in here are the dahlias that are going to fade because the hydrangea are going to dry. Everything's going to dry. It's going to be really pretty. So look at that again. Those hosta pods and the lily pods and the Dusty Miller, all those contrasts. It's awful fun, right? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Happy fall. A fun way to do this. So hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed that. I think it's a fun way for us to use those hydrangeas. I'm going to do another arrangement soon with some more of the hydrangeas too, so we can do something fun with that as well. So we'll have a part 3 that involve those beautiful antique hydrangeas from our friends at Sun Valley. Just gorgeous inside here. So recap. Pumpkin, placed the Oasis foam on top of it, the midnight foam, placed it right on top of the stem. We carved down the edges. We soaked our foam, put it back in place. We made our arrangement in there so that it's on top of this. All of our flowers and foliages we're stuck into the foam, and now we have a pretty decoration that's going to be great for the holiday. All right. So I hope you enjoyed having fun with flowers and Jay. That's what we do here. So leave your comments below. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. That's where you'll see some pretty pictures of this arrangement. And also check out ubloom.com. That's where you can watch both seasons 1 and 2 of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom. It's free to watch there. Or you can join and become a member of ubloom. And if you do that, it's $3.99 a month, or it's $38.40 a year. But right now we are offering a special for stay at home, and it's 50 at home is the discount code. You'll see it on the second slide on the home page. But if you enter that in, you get 50% off of either membership. And if you sign up to auto renew, you'll keep that rate forever, which is awesome, right? Great opportunity. So I hope you enjoyed our little pumpkin arrangement. Take care. See you later.